There's no beer at any of the places in Boston that serve alcohol. Restaurants, taverns, libraries, hospitals, AA meetings. The city is bone dry. I mean, how could this have happened?
The Tartan Army, even including water, I've drank them dry.
By the time Scotland's fans had been in Boston for 4 days, the city had learned something about the Tartan Army that no amount of tournament planning could have prepared it for.
They deep, man, and they could drink too. What? Are you kidding me, man? They must have got no water over there in Scotland. They came, conducted themselves, man, with class, dignity, man, and they like our city. So I'm happy they came, man.
It wasn't about noise. It wasn't about kilts or bagpipes. It was about beer, specifically how completely and how quickly an entire city's supply of it could disappear.
People in Boston are beginning to notice a beer shortage, and bar owners say soccer fans from Scotland are to blame.
The White Bull Tavern, there was no beer. The Scots fans just drunk the place dry, and all they had was like Bud Light.
Pretty much everything. We went out of everything. Tenants being number one.
Managed to plan ahead and get an extra delivery last Saturday, and I was told yesterday the distributor has ran out also. He's getting his today, and the rest of the city's getting theirs tomorrow.
Okay, the quote of the century, and all they had was Bud Light. White Bull Tavern there in Boston says it's run out of Scotland's iconic Tennent's beer, and in downtown, the flagship tap room for Samuel Adams ran out of its signature Boston lager and had to bring in an emergency shipment to keep up with World Cup fans. Boy, they like to drink. The owner of an Irish pub up the street says he made record profit over the last week. As for the Scots, they say they've packed everything they need to watch their team play, from the bleachers and the bar.
So you have a drinking kilt for obvious reasons, because it might get some spillage on it. You have a dress kilt, so you always have two kilts.
Did you get that? He's saying a drinking kilt and then a dress kilt, because it's kind of like a Sunday best situation. Scotland beat Haiti during their first game Saturday. I love these folks. They'll face Morocco on Friday and then Brazil next Wednesday. Hey, I wish them all the luck. They seem like a jolly group of people that just like to wear their kilts and drink. And what's wrong with that?
Dude, the Tartan Army came to Boston, saw the city's beer supply, and decided to treat it like a historical reenactment. 250 years after the Boston Tea Party, we now have the Boston Beer Party. Same city, different beverage, same alarming inventory problem. With that being said, I just want to wish the Tartan Army and the people of Scotland the best of luck in your match on Friday against Morocco. It looks like they are favored to win. However, all you need is a draw, I guess, and you get to stay. So I think I speak for all of Americans when I say I really hope that happens, because you are abundantly welcome here in our country. Finally, and I would like to say this to the people of Scotland who commented on my previous video, not only opening the country, the city you live in, and, you know, just your hospitality, but opening your arms to your actual homes. Listen, it's TikTok. You got to take everything with a grain of salt, but there's been people on there like, bro, come stay with us. You can come visit Scotland and stay with us. And to those people, I wanted to say you are amazing human beings. You know, international travel is kind of an expensive thing. So maybe one of these TikTok videos about the Tartan Army, Scotland, FIFA, World Cup, and all that stuff will go viral enough that TikTok will pay me enough that it could finance my trip to Scotland. And rest assured, if I ever do find myself in the quiet charms of Edinburgh or any other amazing Scottish city, I would love to join you for a pint, maybe an iron brew. Not eating haggis, though. Anyway, good luck in your match on Friday. Let's go Scotland. I'll be pulling for you.
The story starts, appropriately enough, at Boston's own hometown brewery. Sam Adams runs a taproom right in downtown Boston, the kind of place built to handle a steady, manageable flow of regulars and tourists. Over one single weekend, from Thursday through Sunday, Scottish supporters drank exactly 4 times the amount of beer that taproom typically sells during an entire 4-day holiday stretch.
How many kegs do you reckon you've been through so far?
So far, we're up into like the 50, 55 level. It was all what you dream of, right? Packed bar full of Scottish people. There's nothing better. Yeah, I moved over here 26 years ago. I was in a band. I wanted to do that over here, so I came over here, met up with a couple of friends who are already living here. 25 years raced by. Suddenly, Scotland are in the World Cup again, and what happens? 2 games in Boston. Yeah, well, I kept on reading on Tartan Army pages, you know, that would be enough to half time, and they might be right. We've gone through a fair amount since Tuesday when they all started arriving, you know.
How many kegs do you reckon you've been through so far?
So far, we're up into like the 50, 55 level. That's in 4 days.
So confident your stocks will last, considering we've not even had a Scotland game yet? Or
I think we're good for today. If Sunday's a washout, I'll be running away to get some beer from somewhere. We'll figure it out.
Not double, not triple, for time's over. By Saturday, the venue had gone completely dry of its own flagship Boston lager, the beer with the city's own name on the label, emptied out by visitors who'd traveled 4,000 miles to drink it.
Packed, and it's going into the streets. You can see many of these Scottish fans having the time of their life, and some very happy Mexican fans inside. Now, this is just across the street from City Hall Plaza, which is going to be the epicenter for World Cup celebrations here in the city of Boston. That's where they're hosting the FIFA Free Fan Festival. We got an inside look of that for you tonight.
And you made this nation.
From outside the pubs to inside. That's not just the humidity in Boston, that's World Cup fever.
Just paid $27 for 2 beers. Welcome to America. God bless. USA! Thank you for having us, guys. However, forget about the football. It's time to party for a Scotland takeover. Come on! Go on, boys! Scotland! For Scotland!
More than 4,000 pints were poured before the taps finally gave out. Nearly 90 kegs emptied in total, forcing the brewery to schedule 4 separate emergency deliveries just to keep the doors open.
Keep on going. And now, the beer's disappearing in Boston.
You guys are drinking this whole city dry, you know that?
Yeah, we need reassurances from the mayor of Boston that there will be sufficient alcohol. We were in Cheers Bar yesterday for 2 pints and we stayed for 20.
We do see a lot of the same faces. They know our names now.
Noel Summers says the Scots have been calling Hennessy's home, but over the weekend, they hit their breaking point, running out of lager and ale on Sunday.
We have had to up our orders, our deliveries.
Up the road to the Dubliner, the party's still picking up ahead of Scotland's matchup with Morocco Monday. Their manager, Brian McDonald, said they've run through roughly 200 kegs of Guinness and Tennent's. That's at least 16,000 pints over the span of just a week.
It's definitely a lot busier than we ever anticipated. You know, we kind of prepared for St. Patrick's Day level, but this kind of blew it out of the water.
3 times the beer bought compared to a Boston St. Patrick's Day weekend. Such shipments keep coming in with 3 days left until their final matchup in Foxborough.
What can I say? You know, Scotland loves to drink.
Alan Hinrich said he's hit 15 bars so far.
One place refused me, and it's been a long time since I've been asked for proof of age. Now, I like to think
there's no beer at any of the places in Boston that serve alcohol. Restaurants, taverns, libraries, hospitals, AA meetings. The city is bone dry. I mean, how could this have happened?
The Tartan Army, even including water, I've drank them dry. I first travelled here 16 years ago for a weekend and started playing music. But I've been here now full time for 8 years. I had to say yes and no and slow down for the Americans. It's good to have our brothers and sisters over here. You can tell the normal stupid jokes. You can talk about your granny in a piece. I do play St. Patrick's Week here, which is phenomenal. The bosses of the Black Rose, Paul Wilson, said to me, he says, Jimmy, play as long as the drink lasts. And they told me they're sold out of 4 drinks. The bastard said, Jimmy, please in Scottish, could you just tell them, please, why don't you just go home for half an hour? This bar has never been sold out. And it's 50 years young this year. It's never been sold out. And the Tartan Army, even including water, I've drank them dry. Everybody I know here has texted me and says, Jim, you must be proud of Scotland, because a lot of people for the first time have met Scottish people and they says they're absolute 100% fun and very respectful. What the Tartan Army and Scottish people have done in Boston is opened Scotland up again to another part of the world.
A spokesperson for the brand summed up the mood simply. They'd never seen anything quite like it. That would have been a good story on its own. But Sam Adams wasn't the only casualty. Head a few streets over to the White Bull Tavern, and the situation had gotten so severe that a Scottish fan named Dave, or was quoted describing the scene almost like a crime report.
You guys are drinking this whole city dry, you know that?
Yeah, we need reassurances from the mayor of Boston that there will be sufficient alcohol.
We were in Cheers Bar yesterday for 2 pints and we stayed for 20.
We do see a lot of the same faces. They know our names now.
Noel Summers says the Scots have been calling Hennessy's home, but over the weekend, they hit their breaking point, running out of lager and ale on Sunday.
We have had to up our orders, our deliveries.
Up the road to the Dubliner, the party's still picking up ahead of Scotland's matchup with Morocco Monday. Their manager, Brian McDonald, said they've run through roughly 200 kegs of Guinness and Tennent's. That's at least 16,000 pints over the span of just a week.
It's definitely a lot busier than we ever anticipated. You know, we kind of prepared for St. Patrick's Day level, but this kind of blew it out of the water.
3 times the beer bought compared to a Boston St. Patrick's Day weekend. Such shipments keep coming in with 3 days left until their final matchup in Foxborough.
What can I say? You know, Scotland loves to drink.
Alan Hinrichs said he's hit 15 bars so far.
One place refused me, and it's been a long time since I've been asked for proof of age. Now, I like to think
We're all running out of beer, and the local distributors are just doing what they can to get them in, and I know a lot of them got shipments in, and it seems like the Scottish prides themselves in having places like just drinking them dry.
we're going to come here, we're going to drink your beer, we're going to put some money into the economy, and we're going to have a right good time while we're doing it.
We ran out of beer. That's my only complaint.
Scottish fans are known for 3 things: their kilts, their chants, and their libations.
Been drinking since, what time did I get up this morning? 1 o'clock in the morning I got up.
That's when some fans began heading to the airport, bound for the US, bound for the World Cup. The pilot telling us when the beer ran out, he switched to wine.
So I'm going to go and have a nice whiskey at my digs, and then I'm going to go out and hit the town. I'm going to find Cheers. That's what I want to do. I want to find Cheers.
It's the spot where everyone knows your name. By the end of the weekend, Boston will know the Scots, certainly by their attire.
What's an airplane seat like in a kilt?
It's a bit hot and sweaty. First on sale, they were about 1,200 quid.
A host of fans struggled to get into the States after their ESTA applications from approved to pending.
Talking to some guys in the pub last night, and they were all nervous too.
There's been a lot on social media, a lot of people getting knocked back and not getting across and stuff, so it has been a bit of an eye-opener. Yeah. But we were worried, obviously, but we're here now, and I think that's us just about outside, so we're nearly out on American soil. Yeah.
U.S. Customs and Border Patrol told us in a statement, in part, ESTAs are continuously vetted and travelers must be complete and truthful. Failure to disclose arrests or convictions constitutes misrepresentation and can lead to an ESTA denial, revocation, or permanent bar from the U.S.
Honestly, mate, I couldn't sleep.
Now that they are here, it's a weight off their shoulders.
Really want a pint, so food and drink, that's for sure.
There was no beer left at all, he said. The Scottish fans had simply drunk the place dry. And then he added the detail that turned this from a simple supply story into something genuinely funny. The only thing left on tap by the end of it was Bud Light. Nobody wanted it. Nobody had touched it. It sat there fully stocked, while everything else in the building ran out completely.
The White Bull Tavern, there was no beer. The Scots fans just drunk the place dry, and all they had was like Bud Light.
I love how even Scottish fans are like, we're desperate for a beer, but not like Bud Light desperate. In fact, I believe we have a clip of a Scottish fan in Boston being told there's only Bud Light left. It's a proud culture, a very proud culture.
What did I tell y'all yesterday? What did I say yesterday? Yesterday I said, keep the Scottish people here. If you give them a beer, it's over with. You know what happened? You know what happened?
There was no beer. The Scots fans just drunk the place dry, and all they had was like Bud Light.
I had to stop my workout, baby, because I know you lying to me. If all my Scottish friends need is a beer, you give them a beer. But like they don't want that. Okay? They want the real stuff.
If your favorite beer is missing from a tap,
We've never seen anything like it.
there's a decent chance Scotland had something to do.
Miss Ma'am, I know you lying to me. You're not gonna put this on the Scottish men, okay? You're gonna put this on Boston, okay? Boston had something to do with it because they didn't take proper stock of their darn inventory. Get my Scottish friends the beer. They don't want no Bud Light. Did you see my man up there? Said all they had love was like Bud Light. Baby, you spit in his face when you offered him that Bud Light. Don't do that again. Don't do it no more.
So you have a drinking kilt for obvious reasons because it might get some spillage on it. You have a dress kilt, so you always have two kilts.
Did you hear what that man said? He came prepared to get drunk. He brought his drinking kilt skirt. And now he can't use it because he ain't got nothing to drink because y'all didn't do right with your inventory. What the hell? Boston, let me tell you something, huh? I had to stop my workout, okay, to address this situation at hand. The Scottish men in their kilt skirts is making me happy, okay? I don't care what you got to do, okay? Keep beer in your establishment because I like to see the Scottish men have a good time, okay? I just said this yesterday now. Let's not, okay?
The fact that Scottish fans just drank all the beer in Boston is the most funny thing I've ever seen. You know when people say, oh my god, we're going to Miami, Miami is not ready for us. I think Scotland fans are the only people in this world that when they say a place is not ready for them, they mean it, okay? I genuinely mean that from the bottom of my heart. That is so hilarious. Miami, watch out. By the way, just going to throw it out there, the last time I was in Miami, there was I think it was in the Walmart in Miami, they actually sell Iron Brew in one of the international food aisles. They also sell Tunnocks tea cakes. So if any of the Scotland fans or the Tartan Army, when they get to Miami, they see this Walmart in the downtown of Miami, I'm not sure which one it was, but I'm positive. Somebody will need to fact check me on it, but I was there, I seen it, I bought an Iron Brew when I was there in like 2022 or 2023. So go check that out. But yeah, watch out for the Tartan Army. This is going to be wild. And imagine Brazil and Scotland fans in the same city. It's going to be Carnival 2.0 on steroids.
The tavern's own staff backed up the story from the other side of the bar. One employee, Paul Morris, put it about as plainly as anyone could. They'd run out of pretty much everything. And when asked what had actually been selling the fastest, he didn't hesitate. Tenants, he said. Far and away the most popular pour in the building. That detail matters more than it might seem at first. Tenants isn't some obscure specialty import picked at random. It's one of Scotland's own national lagers, a beer most of these fans would have been drinking back home their entire adult lives. Given a full bar's worth of American choices, the Tartan Army didn't come to Boston looking to sample everything the city had to offer. They came looking for a taste of home, and once they found it on tap, they didn't stop until the tavern ran out completely. Bud Light sitting there the whole time, ignored, like the one guest at the party nobody invited. The pattern kept repeating itself across the city, bar after bar telling some version of the exact same story. Hennessy's Bar, a spot that's been open downtown for more than 30 years, told the Boston Globe they'd tripled their entire St. Patrick's Day sales numbers, typically their single busiest night of the year, over just one Sunday night with Scotland's fans in town. They sold out completely, then had to bring in a fresh delivery the very next morning just to reopen normally. Their chief operating officer, Noelle Summers, said flatly that in 3 decades of running that bar, she genuinely never witnessed anything like it. A liquor store in the financial district had its own version of the chaos, minus the football songs. Federal Wine and Spirits sold completely out of Budweiser and Corona by Saturday, and in the middle of the rush, one of their refrigerator doors actually broke from being opened and closed so many times in a row, worn out by sheer repetition rather than any single dramatic moment. Even the Dubliner, an Irish pub with its own long track record of busy nights, reported its single biggest week in the bar's entire history. The owner had tried to plan ahead, arranging an extra delivery in advance specifically because he'd heard what was coming. It wasn't enough. By the time he needed to restock again, his own distributor told him they'd run out too, and the whole city was waiting on the same shipment the next day.
His fault. And Boston's been amazing, I have to say, really, really good. Ran out of beer pretty quickly though, needing a new shipment of beer. Keep us going.
You drink them dry.
Drink them dry, but really good, but really enjoyable.
It seems like the Scottish pride themselves in having places like just drinking them dry.
Last weekend, when Scotland played Haiti in their first World Cup match in 28 years, the manager of a bar in downtown Boston had to call in a special truck delivery from the brewery to cope with the demand.
I've been in this business for over 30 years and I've never seen anything like this. I was like, do they ever sleep? Do they ever get tired? And here they were back at it the next day at 11 a.m.
Now it's round 2. The Tartan Army is playing in Boston again against Morocco on Friday, and this time bars are stocking up.
We'll be more prepared for it, and my team, we couldn't have been more excited.
We're going to come here, we're going to drink your beer, we're going to put some money in the economy, and we're going to have a right good time while we're doing it. One of the Scots.
Amazing. The people are great. The bars are great.
They marched to Fenway for tonight's Red Sox matchup.
The Scots showing their appreciation by sharing a Glasgow tradition. Yeah! Cones on statues.
It means we're comfortable here and we like Boston as a city. Everyone's very kind.
Scotland's got a million songs, we've got loads. I think you need to get some new songs though. You see, we only have one song. USA, USA. You need some more imagination. What's happening?
But when the party's over, they're trying to leave Boston better than they found it.
Nobody likes leaving a mess. I mean, it happens sometimes, but the people of Boston have been really nice to us, and I think it's just a bit of respect.
And the city is taking notice.
Yo, look, you see, this make it easy for me.
They deep, man, and they could drink too. I'm one person cleaning up after them, man, and it ain't that bad. They came, conducted themselves, man, with class, dignity, man, and they like our city. So I'm happy they came, man.
So here's the actual thesis running underneath all of this, because it's more interesting than just a lot of people got thirsty in one city. Every single one of these stories has the same shape. Bars didn't run out of alcohol in general. They ran out of anything that felt authentic, familiar, or specifically theirs, while the most generic, mass-market option on the shelf sat there completely untouched. Bud Light wasn't rejected because it's a bad beer. It was rejected because it wasn't what anyone in that room was actually looking for. These fans hadn't crossed an ocean to drink the most convenient, most advertised, most forgettable option available. They came looking for something with a little more identity behind it, Boston's own hometown lager, or better yet, a taste of tenants that made an American bar feel, for 1 week, a little more like home. That's really what this whole beer shortage says about the week as a whole, once you strip away the punchline. The Tartan Army didn't just want to be in Boston. They wanted Boston and themselves to actually taste like something specific, not like the safest, most interchangeable version of a night out that could have happened in any city, with any beer, to any crowd. And every single bar in this story, whether they meant to or not, ended up being part of the proof. So here's what we want to know from you. If you were behind one of these bars that week, or if you were one of the fans hunting down the last pint of tenants in the city, tell us the moment you actually ran out. And if there's a Bud Light joke we haven't heard yet, the comments are exactly where it belongs. If this one made you laugh, subscribe, because between the bagpipes, the beer, and everything else the city went through that week, we're nowhere close to done telling this story.